Deserve maxing. What the hell's this bitch talking about? What this ding dong talking about? Deserve. You don't deserve nothing. You a woman.
Oh, hello, babies. We've solved dating for you.
Let me cut to the chase. When she says she solved dating, what she means is that she appeased her own ego and that of the modern woman in general. She made herself feel better about her dating experiences by constructing a graph of men according to their objective qualities rather than their subjective ones like mine, and then simply declaring that all women deserve the good kind of man and not the kinds of men with flaws because women...
What the hell is an alpha widow? Are you gonna categorize men that lost their loved one? I'm so confused.
Have no flaws, I guess. It's a weird take, but I think we're familiar with it. Anyway, as usual, I have fixed the square by turning it into a cube. Cubes are pretty much it.
My name's Amy. This is my best friend, Grace.
They're from Portland. Make of that what you will.
And together, we've created the smart, dumb, sweet, evil matrix. It's going to help you.
It's going to help you become more entitled. Speaking of deserving things, I found this report on Ground News saying almost half of 18 to 27-year-olds still live with their parents, most of them for free. We're in an economic situation that nobody deserves. I'm going to help these girls upgrade their chart, but first, if you want help explaining why you still live at home, it's the cost of living, it's not avocado toast. You should check out this story on Ground News. Click the link in the description or scan here to subscribe and follow along right now. Ground News makes it easy to understand the news. You can see the same story from different angles. You can see who owns the source you're reading, and you can see how credible their reporting is and if they lean left, right, or center. So Fortune says Gen Z just wants to live in expensive cities, but the New York Post...
What? Nobody wants to live in any expensive area. God, I hate these
younger
people.
Americans are showing discipline and foresight in their saving and spending patterns. So which is it? Well, Ground News also gives you the research so you can see for yourself. You can even follow your favorite topics and get a personalized news feed. I love the bird's eye view I get from Ground News. It's kind of like what I do. So go to ground.news/HM or scan my QR code to get 40% off the same unlimited access Vantage plan I use and show your parents that it's not your fault. Maybe we can also get through to these girls in their deserve chart. Let's see what they...
No, you're not. No, you are voluntarily living in Portland, Oregon, and you think you're smarter than everyone else because you sniff your own farts and think it's smog. Yeah, no thanks. I appreciate him wanting to try.
I have to say.
Okay, so what we've discovered is that every man in the world falls on this matrix.
Yes, true. So true. Every person can be categorized. People don't have differences or anything. Yeah.
Not me. I don't fit in any of these. I am nice and I'm smart, but I don't quite fit here. I'll let her explain.
In quadrant 1, we have the sweet, smart matrix. This is the unicorn matrix. You have your husbands, your ones who got away, and your fictional men written by women. These are the ones you want to keep. They're the ones you dream about. They're the ones you deserve, honey.
Deserve, their favorite word, which means absolutely nothing. So again...
No, some people don't deserve it. Just like some men who are horrible don't deserve nice women. What? Hi, Hannah. Hi. Hello. No, I just hate this whole gender war, putting it into polarizing spectrums. And I do like how he categorizes and criticizes himself as well. He's allowed to talk shit about himself if he's experienced it. Yeah.
I am pretty nice. I am pretty smart. I do not belong here. I am nobody's unicorn. I do not have this reputation. I alternately have these reputations. Let's let her continue.
Now, quadrant number 2, we got the golden retriever quadrant. We got very sweet, but a little bit dumb. They can fall anywhere.
Oh, that's me. I'm high EQ, low IQ. That's me.
We're in this quadrant, and they're golden retrievers. They have a high EQ, but a low IQ. So they could be a nuclear scientist, but if they're getting you pot holders for your birthday, they are a golden retriever, honey. And finally, the most important quality of a golden retriever is that they are willing to learn. They can be taught, and eventually these golden retrievers can become unicorns, which is why they are part of the Keeper hemisphere.
Oh, so over here this is bad. This is no.
Okay, important note. When she says dumb here, what she means is not buying her the correct presents. So again, you can be a nuclear scientist in this box, but if you are not serving her needs, then you are dumb and must be fixed.
Quadrant number 3, we have the yuck quadrant. That is the dumb and evil.
Fair.
I saw Republicans and hockey players, and I'm actually dumbfounded because a lot of people that I know that are men that play hockey, they are not right-wing or Republicans. They're just people. They're just... Why are we lumping them together? What did hockey players do to these women? Hello?
Fair enough.
Finally, we have your smart and evil quadrant. This is the trauma quadrant.
I agree with that one too.
Yeah, those damn Canadians and the Republicans' opinions. Durr.
In the trauma quadrant, you have your standard narcissist.
Narcissist, usually but not always, means got the better of me.
Your situationships that last longer than 6 months.
That, again, is a good insight. Hanging out in this area for too long is a bad sign.
Okay.
And then finally, your guitar players who hate themselves.
Hey, I don't
What?
hate myself any.
Hey, I play guitar. Well, I played guitar, but I don't have one. I should get one, but I need to get one. I need to go get it. But what's wrong with that? Why are we attacking random hobbies?
Anymore. I hate everything
That's a nice
else. I hate
guitar.
that I have to explain this.
Notably, I am not allowed to date in the trauma quadrant anymore.
Good for you. Personal growth.
Well.
Nobody mean is a good rule.
This has
Sure.
never proved us wrong. It is true for every man we have ever known.
Okay,
What's TBI? Tuberculosis? What the hell is TBI?
Every man we have ever known.
Right there.
okay, it's true from your perspective. That's how you see all guys. There's something that you're missing from our perspective that might help you on your journey. And also, maybe lay off the deserve word. In my opinion,
traumatic
deserving
brain
is at an
drill.
all-time high, and it's kind of resulting in women ending up in these areas a little more than is necessary. That's when they are encouraged to deserve someone who doesn't agree. So you
How about we go back to people deserving each other for putting in equal amounts of work and nobody gets mistreated? I think that we should go back to doing that.
say that your model solves
Damn.
dating, first of all, you're only talking about this part of it and assuming that this part of it is all here to your satisfaction, which is a different conversation. Second of all, I think that this model is going in the right direction, but you're probably putting some men in one of these categories preemptively because you are ignoring a hidden third dimension. So to help you solve dating, I've
We're going 3D now.
created
Okay,
the
I'm
investment
interested.
cube. It's a little rough, but you get the idea. I changed your axes a little bit. Instead of nice and mean, I think you wrote sweet and evil. I put willingness to invest and give you what you want in a relationship.
Sure,
And instead of dumb and smart, I put experienced. That's knowing what to do in relationships and how to do it. And
There are older men that are quote unquote retrievers, in my opinion, but they are experienced retrievers. There's absolutely a merit to figuring things out as you get older. I think that age is wisdom. It's a saying for a fucking reason. Like, I just find it so dumb. It's like, oh my god, I love myself like a golden retriever boyfriend. He's like 21 years old and I'm like 30 and like, he just doesn't get anything. And like, he's so dumb, but I still love him. And like, I could teach him. It's like, you're not teaching him anything if you're treating him like this and being condescending when he gets older and learns things on his own. And I don't know, he might leave you because you're being kind of a condescending bitch, if anything. It's the same thing with women too. If you're dating someone who is substantially younger than you, granted, like legally, like legal age, you are in a dynamic and in a position to be wiser than them. Stop expecting them to know what you want if they're young.
And then finally, the aspect you left out was able. How able is he? If he's willing and experienced, but maybe not able
Okay.
at the moment.
Able being not having money and or being broke or having debt.
But that could
Yeah.
change in the future. That's something that you maybe should consider. You gave an example of a guy in the fix category who gets you pot holders because he's inexperienced and doesn't know what you want. But what about a guy who is getting you pot holders because he just isn't quite able yet, in this yellow box over here, to get you what he already knows you want? What if there are guys out there who are very willing and very experienced, but just not able enough for you at the moment, which, may or may not change in the future? This is something that actually happened to me recently. I met someone who assumed I was in the dark green here, and as time went on, I had to just say, whoa, that's gonna take a few years. That's kind of and then she feels like this now.
I can read between the lines that he said he wasn't ready for kids and she got pissed at him or something along those lines, or, oh, I want a house, and he's like, I don't want to give you a house. We haven't reached that stage in the relationship. It's either money or like, I want kids now, and the guy's like, whoa, bitch. We've known each other for like a year. Like, chill. I don't want to marry you yet. Yeah, or that. I mean, again, it's all dependent. It's read between the lines. I don't know this guy, but still, that's the vibe I got.
Saying out there that women do not struggle with men. They wait at the finish line and choose the winner so they can get the benefits. And that might be a self-defeating strategy, at least in today's dating environment. It used to work better in the past when we had more structure in society and men in general even. And
we get what we deserve and we stay within our lines, and people who are 4s don't get 10s. Yeah. Wow.
Middle value men could accumulate enough to buy a house and provide stability for a woman on his value level. But times are different now. These guys are not really buying houses exactly.
Yeah, and they're not people because they're either ugly or they don't got no money. The 3s, they get nobody.
So the more that you tell all women that they deserve someone who can provide them everything they want, the fact that those guys are fewer and fewer in number is going to mean that they have a lot of women clustering around them, which is going to...
And then they get called womanizers and their ego gets inflated, and sometimes they're not very smart. And then other men hate them because there's women clustering around them. Wait, that makes... Holy crap. Those 10s and 9s that are men, the people who are below start to resent them. Or they look up to them and then they become Andrew Tate and they start to sell them, $20,000 courses on how to get women and mistreat them. But that's besides the point. Yeah. Oh, damn, dude. I understand.
Make them a lot less willing to pick one and provide for her. You'll notice that I colored all of the unwilling boxes red. You should be getting away from guys who are not willing. Those guys who have a lot of access to women, they tend to get a bunch of temporary ones rather than a permanent one and lead them on for a few years by saying...
And it happens to girls too. It just happens more often. Men have lower standards, generally speaking, unless they have really overinflated egos. I know this is like a really big kept secret amongst men.
Things like this. Yeah. So let's solve dating even more by going over the investment cube. Here it is. Your sweet evil matrix, pictured here, breaks down men into sweet versus evil and dumb versus smart, and then claims that all men are to be found on this grid and that all women deserve a guy who is nice and smart, or at least the opportunity to fix one who is nice and dumb, putting him in the deserve category. Now, this is an insufficient picture, and that's because as time goes on, there are more and more men who are willing to put in the work, which you call sweet, and who know how to put in the work, which you call smart, but simply are not able to put in an adequate amount of work for you.
And that goes back to the economy sucking, and that's why society is kind of starting to realize that there's a big problem. Yeah, male loneliness. I do think there's a genuine correlation between like overall like dating symptoms and like societal symptoms and this economic status. Yeah. It's really coming into place. I think the more videos we watch, I'm starting to understand. Pay to win. I don't think it's even a pay to win aspect. I don't think this. I think even the average Joe is just like struggling, and it's really starting to piss people off. The average Joe is struggling. There's only so much people can take. There's something that happens between you moving out and becoming a young adult and starting to find your way. I think all reasonable people that move out of their parents' house or don't, they save money and they go through the quote unquote poor cycle where, you know, you have to cut back. You can't like spend money on video games and you don't exactly have an amazing career and you work at stocking shelves at Kroger, you know, like me. And you realize that this can't go on forever, and it's getting, the gap is extending longer and longer each year, man. People can't do this forever. There has to be like a light at the end of the tunnel. You can't do this, man. I live in a multi-generational home because of the economy. Yeah, or you live in a shitty little flat and you try and get by. It sucks. And you're in your 30s and you're like, I'm running out of fucking time. What is going on? I'm in my prime. Why is this happening?
The economy. So as standards of living decrease, this was 2011, God knows where this is by now, but your standards do not decrease.
Oh no, I wasn't even out of school. Chat, most of us weren't even out of high school at this point. In 2011?
I know, but your standards do not decrease. There's just going to be fewer and fewer men over time who can provide what women deserve. So your advice to women to solve dating for them was to just simply pick this guy. The guy who is willing to invest in you and knows how to do it and is able to do it. But
this is going to overcorrect. Mark my fucking words, man. There's going to be either AI girlfriends or there's going to be an acceptance of men that just don't want to live like this anymore. And there will be a moment. This is again a theory. This is a theory in my brain. I think there will be a point where there's gonna be like a societal acceptance. Like there's always been men who live out in the woods and they just don't have anything, right? Like that's always been a thing, like even since the dawn of time. But I think like it's gonna be like government acceptance, like maybe they're gonna have like mandatory AI girlfriends to make people happy. Or something like that. Yeah, like monks or something. Yeah, like hermits. Like a designated class of people, you know?
There are not enough of those guys to go around. Those guys are so small in number that they're going to have a lot of options to pick from, and that's going to make them unwilling to pick one. You can't all be at the front of the line. So if a guy is willing and experienced, that would be your sweet and smart, but not.
I want to talk about the viewpoint of like, what if you're a 5 woman and you don't think like all these bitches, and I do mean like bitches lightly, because like, again, no, not everyone in the universe is a fucking above a 6 or above a 4, above a 3. There are ugly women out here too, right? What if you don't want to think like all of these girls? Are you gonna die alone too because you don't want to? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, I guess you'll just get with someone who's, you know, compatible with you. And isn't like a 10 or a 9 and doesn't like want money. You're a pick-me then? Oh, yeah, there we go. You're an ugly bitch! You're a pick-me! Yeah, get yourself a 5. Even yourself out.
line. So if a guy is willing and experienced, that would be your sweet and smart, but not
Settling.
able
That's
to
a good
give
word,
you
actually.
the type of investment that you're looking for, that would be the struggle box. I put that in yellow back here. Women do not really like being in the struggle box. They don't want to win the race with us. They want us to win first and then
Yeah, well, that was taught by society. Inadvertently, all the advertising, all the social media, all the Instagram posts of women in hot bikinis with hot men and hot women around them and having, like, you know, luxurious getaways and having, like, multi-million-dollar houses. It's partly biological, yes, but it's shifted because of social media. You're completely right. I agree. However, because the pendulum has swung so far due to Instagram, it should be more like women are in the middle and they are the pickers, because women are the pick. They pick their mates. Biologically speaking, animals pick their mates, and they are the females. There are very few species that don't do that. I learned that in school, by the way. Haha. Female humans are the ones that pick the mates, but they're at the finish line over here now because of influences of culture and society now, that they aren't over here in the middle moving along with men to reach the racing line. That's why there used to be a saying of, like, hey, it's okay for a woman who's 25 to date someone who's like 34 and doesn't look great, but he makes a lot of money. But now, because of the economic gap being flipped and all of this shit happening and the world falling apart and this and that and all these factors, men can't compete because they can't fucking make money and provide resources for these fucking women who have above average expectations.
share. Finally, back here we have the project box in orange, and that would be a guy who is willing to take care of you properly, but neither is he able, at the moment at least, nor does he know what he's doing. And that is a project. Okay, I wish I had...
And women don't want projects, they want instant gratification, which goes back to my social media cultural influence, whatever. It just goes back to that.
Exact percentages here. I'm just estimating to make a point. Some percentage of men are going to be unwilling to invest in a relationship, and the more options they have, the more unwilling they're going to be. Some percentage of men are going to be ready, willing, and able. If you can lock one down, good for you. Some percentage of men are going to be able.
That's natural too.
And willing, but not ready and don't understand. And if you want one of the fixers, then good for you also. But in my estimation, the
vast majority, there we go, the big
section of society is going to be larger and growing, and the project section is probably going to take up, I don't know if this is more than half already or what. I wish I had numbers. But my point here is that you told all women to pick this guy. You said they deserve it. You basically just took this green color right here, and you just said that's all of you. Are in the deserving category of just a few. You can see how mathematically that might not work out. No, I am not telling you that you have to settle for someone who doesn't have enough of what you want. You don't have to. I'm just saying that some of you are gonna...
There's not enough sugar daddies to go around. Not everybody makes $3-4 million a year, man. These hoes ain't loyal, man.
Have to choose between either one of these back row guys or pursuing someone who could be here but is unwilling, or maybe like a Jack Russell. They're pretty cute. So in order to clarify what women should be deserving in order to maximize people finding an appropriate match, let's break down income by category. Now, first of all, the median income for the male population of the United States is about $46,000. And that is going up, but not as fast as rent and groceries. I also want to mention I made about this much money in 2014, and it didn't.
This is 2022. Yeah, I made about 29 after taxes. Yeah, 29. Yeah, it's fine. It's a pretty average job. Yeah.
not go very far. Here's a quick
30.
breakdown of income
30 or
brackets in the
29, I
United
can't
States. I
remember.
have stacked those up for you. Now, as you can see, there's a good
In
percentage.
2014? No, this was 2020? 2021, I think. It's livable. It's fine. I wasn't like dying or anything.
37.5 of
Just
people
an
in the United
average
States who
job.
make over 100K, but as you can also see, they're going to be overwhelmingly old, probably not in the age range you're looking for. Guys more your age are going to be concentrated in these lower levels.
And you're going to get ugly, and you are going to become a hag and unlikable, and all the men that are older and make that kind of money that you want are not going to be with you. Because you're going to become 30 years old. You're going to hit a wall at some point, and there's not going to be anything likable about you. Shruggy, sucks to suck. I don't know. I'm acceptant. I am absolutely acceptant of hitting a wall as a woman. Men only become more attractive as they get older, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, sure, there are like cougars who chase like, 21-year-olds. Like, I get it. But in my opinion, I think if you're older and you semi take care of yourself, you're cool, man. Like, yeah. VTubers don't hit walls. Yeah. My eggs are frozen. My eggs are frozen in time in the anime Dragon Ball Z Chrono Chamber. Yeah.
So let's go by age here. Average
where I put
salary
the
for
eggs
20
in.
to 24 is $38,012 per year, which is, I could not imagine. I think that's rent in Manhattan. Average
It's true,
salary for
actually.
25 to 34 is $54,080 per year. Average for
Oh.
35 to 44, which I'm imagining is beyond the upper limits of your dating range after this ad
Yeah.
here, is $65,676 per year.
That's why I always laugh when I see those clips of women saying, like, my man should make 80,000 minimum. And I'm like, bitch, the fuck you talking about? 80,000? That's like what? The top 15%? Like, what? What are you smoking?
Year. Now, I made more than this in 2018, and it did not go far. To be fair, it does say that men earn more at $14.01 per week, which would be $72,852, but that
Sure.
does include 44-year-old men. So, in other words,
Hold on, is that after or before taxes? Because taxes clap your cheeks.
more guys than you think are going to be at the lower
Yeah.
end of the able to invest axis in these
Before?
unattractive, dingy colors.
Ugh. Oh my god, yeah. Before income tax, yeah, cheese and crackers, bro.
Struggle in project boxes. So when you encourage women
Yikes.
to deserve even harder than they already are, you're telling them to focus on these front boxes full of men who are able to provide, which looks like this. They begin to cluster around the men who have the ability to do that, which makes those men fall from the willing category to the unwilling category because they have an abundance of options. That's why, even though your boxes are not wrong and you're smart to stay out of this one, encouraging women to deserve is going to make them look for guys who are already able, who have already made it, which is going to clog the market.
This guy's fucking smart, man. Holy moly. Has he got a girlfriend? Damn, dude.
Some of you, most of you, should probably be looking for a guy who is willing,
Hit him
a
up.
guy who wants to become more able because of
Good.
your presence in his life is a
He's
pretty
cool,
good
man.
sign. That's a guy who wants to move from here to here or from here to here, and then you can do the rest of the work. So more deserving is not going to solve dating. If anything, it's going to clog up these two cubes and drop them down to here, which is what you don't want. But what might help solve dating is if maybe a few more of you were willing to run the race with us rather than waiting at
Sit
the
at the
finish line
end.
and
Yeah.
picking the winner.
Yeah. Society, culture, social media, technology, all those things have absolutely warped the dating pool, man. It's not just one thing. That was a great watch. That was very enjoyable. Super fun. Social media was a mistake. I agree. it's definitely not been a lot of benefits. Like, there's amazing things to social media and being able to talk to people from across the world, but yeah, it has definitely skewed expectations. There are so many crazy women I've talked to, like, in real life, like, in passing, not like friends or anything, but they'll be like, I want a man who makes $80,000, or they want, like, a man that makes $70,000, and then you look at the statistics, and it's like, excuse me? Like, what?